31st of August, massive protest against immigration in Australia. Let's have a little bit of a talk about it. There is some people out there that are saying that they're organising another rally in September. And because this rally in the 31st of August isn't well organised by the right people, you shouldn't turn up to it. While simultaneously saying that it's so unorganized and it's also run by the neo-Nazis and the nationalists, and there was a TikTok account that came up with the idea, while simultaneously saying the mainstream media is promoting it to make out that it's as if the neo-Nazis and the fake TikTok account are working together to organize it. So therefore you shouldn't trust that rally. You should go to the organized rally by the approved people. And some of these approved people, by the looks of things, they've been astroturfed by Zionists, by people who do not care about immigration. They want more immigration, the wealthy. So the more I look at it online, the more my take on it is that you should turn up 31st of August. It's a bit dark here, isn't it? Hopefully you guys can see. Hopefully you can see me. Now, obviously, I'm not in Australia at the moment. I'm one of the Australian refugees that has left Australia because of immigration, taking our jobs, making property unaffordable, even rents unaffordable. And during this time period, it is just a better option to just get out of Australia. Now, let me just give you guys a bit of a take, my take on why we need to rally, why we need to talk about it. I'm obviously doing my part because I've got a YouTube channel and some social media that I'm going to use. Most of you don't have that, so I'm still contributing even though I'm not in Australia. Over here in Asia, I don't have equal rights. In every Asian country I've been to, and I've been to every Asian country except for Myanmar, every single country in Asia, there's two rules. Rules for the locals and rules for a white man. Where I am right now, I have to pay double, sometimes 5 times more rent than a local. When I go to the shops, they see my white face and they racistly charge me double sometimes. There's discrimination on every corner here just because I'm a white man. It is unsafe for white men in Asia. The security, they're not looking at me now, but I'm always arguing with the security, telling them to fuck off. I go outside, there's people the beggars want to harass you more than everybody else, and they say it's about money, but the thing is, when we become poor, their mindset will still be the same, take from the white man, and that's not going to change. And these are the same scumbags that we're letting into Australia. There's rules over here, and then when they come to Australia, they're treated equally. Now, with that said, it's not safe for white men in Asia. It's not safe for white men almost anywhere. And so you're under threat. You're seriously under threat. And growing up, my understanding, it was an unspoken understanding. That understanding was that immigration would be limited to the point where the government would always be ruled by a white guy, a white person. We will try to give them equal rights and we'll do our best to give them equal rights and treat them better than they treat us in their countries. And they will come into Australia and will be liberal, will be nice, you know, the liberal New World Order will be really nice to everybody and globalize ourselves and multiculturalism. But these fuckers in Asia, they haven't got the memo yet. You see? The only reason why I'm able to stay in like 5-star accommodation and live like a king over here is because we still have the strongest economies, the currency's the best. But that's not going to last forever. And when that ends, and the boomers and the Gen Xers die and they ruin what is left of our civilization, and they flood us with too many Africans and too much violence and too much crime, and the economy starts to collapse, and the flow of migrants into countries like Australia stops. And then the leadership gets overthrown by the immigrants that we let in, and we led them to believe that it was supposed to be run by whoever gets in charge, democracy. So you get to come in and you just get to play the game and overtake Australia through democracy. If that was to happen, they will take the same racist mindset that they have here in Asia and they'll take it back to Australia. They might even commit genocide against us. You cannot trust any of these Asians in charge. You just can't. I'm in Asia. You just can't trust them. Everything is a double standard. Everything is a scam. Everything is a trick. The only way you can have a nice, life over here in Asia is because you can live basically like a king. But when that money runs out, there's no extra welfare for that. They're not going to help you out. You run out of money, they'll just kick you to the curb. It's not the same way we treat them when they come to Australia. We treat them really well. And for that to continue, the only way for that to continue is for the current leadership, which is white men, to be in charge. When you start allowing Asians to rule Australia, it will become like this. And at that point, white men will have nowhere to go, and we might start being murdered in our own homes, in our own society, the civilization that we built. Because these people can't be trusted. I'm in Asia. I know not to trust an Asian here. I've been scammed so many times since I've been away. The amount of racism, and they justify it by, we're poor. It's like, you're not poor, you're fucking lazy. These Asians are fucking lazy. They're fucking lazy, they scam, they lie, they cheat, they steal. You can't trust them. And if we have them running the Australian government, and the way that I'm getting treated, this double standard here, we're just going to be murdered in our own country. And it's literally that bad. The only reason why we're treated so well in Asia at the moment is because we're literally the richest. We have the most money. We get to travel to Asia and throw a lot of cash around and live like kings. But that's not going to last forever. The boomers are holding on to a lot of our capital, and men like myself, we're not able to extract that capital to then expand the economy. All we're doing is we're pumping it full of immigrants to keep the cheap labor running so that the boomers can stay alive and exploit what is left of the country. A lot of men like myself, we don't have access to our parents' capital at all. And so we're not able to then innovate and look for new opportunities. Our selfish boomer and Gen X parents, some of them won't even give us inheritances, which is the total opposite of what is happening in Asia. They're working together. Your parents if you're an Asian or an Indian or anybody, they hand it down and they look after their sons and children. Not in Australia, not in the West. The boomers and the Gen Xers are some of the most self-centered pieces of shit on planet Earth. We're fighting them because they're holding all of our wealth. They're controlling the political system. And they're flooding us with enemy combatants. Like, these people here you can't trust. Everywhere I go, they're trying to scam me. I actually ask a local Asian what the price is before I ask the storekeeper. Because I know the storekeeper here is going to give me a different price. I know they're going to scam me. And it took me months to find an apartment to rent here because they just wouldn't show me the good ones. They show the good ones to the locals. Yet, They're worried about the bamboo ceiling in Australia not rising to the top and ruling Australia, while simultaneously there's a white ceiling just to get a rental here. All of the racism that they complain about in Australia, it is 100 times worse over here in Asia. And they're not the only ones. It's the crime from the Africans. And so this rally on the 31st of August, it's not about, the people that are calling you racist are the people who are preparing you for a future genocide. And that's how it's going to play out. You get flooded with enemy combatants. They're not going to give me a good job over here in Asia. Hell no. They say that I've got white privilege here in Asia while simultaneously giving me the total opposite. The same racists here immigrate to Australia and say that I'm privileged in Australia. I'm as much of an Aussie battler as it comes. Started out in a ghetto with a single mother. My father abandoned me. My new stepfather bashed me to death, tried to kill me. Started out in Maroubra. And I just basically lived in abject poverty until I figured out how to get out. And then I became disabled. No one came to help me. I'll also put out another point I would like to make to you guys is, this is an uncoordinated rally. It's decentralized. That's how we have to be. We have to be decentralized. The Australian men need to be decentralized in our rallies because we're surrounded by enemies, not even abroad, but in Australia. The people who want a coordinated, organized rally are your enemy. They're the ones that are accepted by the establishment. When it's decentralized because some random dude gets on TikTok and it goes viral and everyone says, good idea, and then does it and we don't know who the leaders are, that means they can't take out the head of the snake. That's what the government does. The government takes out the leaders all the time, arrests them, intimidates them, harasses them, sues them, destroys their lives. Decentralized white male resistance against them genociding us in the country that we built. Decentralized. 31st of August. We don't need a leader. We need to work together. Whenever I see a white man around here, I'm like, yo, how's it going? Give me a hug. You know it's us versus these cunts, don't you? He's like, yeah, I know, these people are cunts. I'm like, yeah. Every Aussie I meet in Asia, they see the double standards. You see? We treat these fucking pieces of shit so well when they come to Australia. I know. Why are they such cunts to us here? We got the money at the moment, but it's running out. The political power is running out. 31st of August, turn up, be decentralized, and do what I just told you. You see another white dude, exchange numbers, create Telegram groups, create, signal groups, create networks, build your network. The only people you can trust are other white men. You can't trust anybody else. The white men here, if I have a problem, I go to them. I don't go to the government because the government fucking hates white men here. And every government in Asia hates white men. We cannot allow these people to get in control in Australia. Simultaneously, the richest people in Australia are Jews. Harry Triguboff, the richest man in Australia, he owns all the property. What does he want? He wants to flood Australia with Africans and Asians, as many people as possible, to prop up his property market so he can sell it off and send all of his money to Israel. And then at the end of that, leave you desolate. We need to stop it now. We also need capital flight, capital controls on the entire country. We need to stop the Harry Triguboffs of the world from capital flight out of Australia now. We need to stop them from getting their money out. And in some cases, Harry Triguboff's dad was arrested in China for doing the same thing. We need to arrest these people. We need to lock them up. And this starts with a groundswell, decentralized movement of white men that are working together. Just make sure that the man that you're working with isn't working for Israel too. Anyway, hopefully you guys turn up on the 31st of August, hopefully.